I've been both busy and sick, as you can hear. So I'm gonna try to keep this as short as I can, but you know that never really works out because I always end up going way too long. So it is what it is. Okay. As I messaged in D1, a lot of the stuff that's happening is just really some of the same stuff that's been happening, right? And we just really need to take more responsibility, uh, and turn our brains on, and just really try to not just play the game necessarily, but think about it at a higher level. Hey, Ian. Okay, because a lot of this stuff is just we're autopiloting. These guys are not doing anything special, anything crazy, and like no crazy tactics. They're just sitting back and watching you guys in. It's really that simple. The good news about that is the solutions are easy. You just got to think a little bit more and not do these super AFK low level mistakes. But you know that's the bad news is yeah they're kind of dumb. The good news is it's an easy fix. You just got to think about it. So let's go through this real quick. Some of the stuff is gonna sound kind of like a broken record because hey. Well, you have to go over it, and some of the stuff you probably didn't go over. So tell me if you I mean, you can tell me if you did or not. Okay, so at this point, you don't know they have a... Wait, no, we're way deep in.
Ready for battle.
Oh, I'm streaming on Twitch, but not here. Okay. No, there's a delay there. That's gonna be weird. Just watch this. Here. You know, maybe the energy's just good. Okay. Pick up the Mercy is good. How are we gonna take this fight? Are we just gonna all run it down main like idiots like this? Did you guys talk about this? This guy's not coming. This guy's not coming back anytime soon, right? So just because you got a pick doesn't mean you don't have to rush this. Like, if anything, it means you have the time to take the positioning you want because they're 5v6. They can't contest you for positioning, right? If you take the time to just do this and this, right? They're gonna have to back off the point. They can't contest it. Like you get your Doomfist high, you get your Monkey high. You probably poke your Diva and your Hansel this way. Um, your backline, yeah, you kind of want your backline high too, but I don't know if you necessarily have the time for it. Yeah. Yeah, so if you're probably going two supports. No, I mean this is probably okay. You're probably gonna go two supports and Diva just chilling here. You're gonna want to swing your Hanzo out wide. Definitely Monkey Doomfist high ground because you don't know about the ball yet, right? So, but we should be like, fuck, dude. The specifics of what happened here matter less than do I see intent and what your emotions are, right? Like I should be seeing Andrew swing this way. I should be seeing Tony jump here, which I think I do see that. I should be seeing yeah, I should be seeing Amon looking to get up here too, or just wrap this way, because he's got the time to do it. It's fine, right? And if Amon turns left here, then he'd see the ball, right? Like there's no reason not to check your corner, honestly. But the point is, I should be seeing this some kind of opening pattern, right? Some kind of uh, motion that suggests we're trying to make a concave, right? Because whether or not we got the exact people and the exact correct places or not doesn't really matter. Like in this exact situation on this exact map, no, the specifics like are they're not that important, right? It's just do we see evidence of strategic thinking, right? Do I see evidence of this? And right now, I don't. That's the bigger problem we have to fix. Okay, because we have the monkey going in. That's fine. Amon, well, we talked about this with the Sombra problem, but you're not very decisive with your rotations. You should already be here. You should be looking at this ball already, punching him. You can't. Oh, jeez. Wait, why is this happening? Hang on. Oh my god. Okay. Let me. See, this is why I need people to. That's why I need people to proofread me. Screen. My lord. Okay. you can't see any of that, right? I need to see. Basically, what I'm saying is I want to see evidence that you're trying to open this up, right? You're trying to make a concave, and whether or not it's exactly correct with the exact people in the exact places doesn't matter. It's like I need to see some people going here, some people going here, somebody going here. Okay, that's really all that matters. And we're not doing that right now, right? I'm on your slow day rotations. You should be doing this already. These guys looking main, I don't. It's kind of okay, but somebody needs to go here. Okay. Probably I would say the Hanzo. I'd say Andrew should probably peek this way. Because if he gets pushed, you can back out and you can get support from Brig, and life is okay. Uh, did you? Okay, yeah, you are kind of late. But yeah, this is no good, right? Andrew, you don't need to die here because if your entire team is here, peek a different angle. We're just walking it down main. Tony, this is a problem that I'm seeing a couple times this map. You don't look like you know exactly what you need to be doing. Like as in, not necessarily in the general case, but like in terms of just reacting, right? Like, yes, you're setting up a high ground, okay, but the thing is, the ball is in right now. Okay, the ball is in your team, which means you have to respond to this, or someone's gonna die. So as soon as the ball goes in, you should just drop on the Sigma and just zap them. That's probably the best thing you can do at this point. Oh, hey, you're here, right? Because I understand wanting to set up here and keep this, but the problem is the ball's in your team. Okay, you can't you can't you're gambling a delayed payoff or holding this high ground and just hoping your team survives. And if you just sit here and look at them, this is a what, a 4v5, because you got one, two, three, four, five people shooting into a clump of four and you're doing nothing. And that being said, this doesn't need to be a clump of four because somebody should be going here, right? And Amon, since you were late and you see this, you could just go this way, right? Like this is what I mean by strategic thinking. Like yes, I would prefer you to be doing this so you can see the ball. Since you are late, okay. What is the like? If we were more theoretically and strategically correct, right? When you see this, you don't go down main, right? You're like, um, fuck. Uh, maybe. Yeah, but you're still in a clump, and you're gonna die. Yeah, but okay, look, in an alternate universe where this guy jumps down and blocks out the sig, and then you maybe punch the sig, and then maybe you get to sleep on this guy anyway. Like you're getting a lot more space. Or we're thinking in terms of right now, like can I kill this guy? Can I damage this guy? This is small potatoes, right? What's the big picture? We want. Yeah, what I'm trying to what I'm trying to say is like in a specific case, right, on the specific micro stuff, sure that might have worked. Okay, I don't really care about that right now because we need to get away from this. Okay, even if you have to sacrifice, like this is something that I think we need to move towards. Even if you have to sacrifice short-term value, immediate value, right? Like maybe you can save Andrew, maybe you can kill this guy. Okay, those things don't really matter because what you have right now is four guys walking down main. Okay, and to break these habits and to really open your playbook up, we need to commit to doing the right strategic thinking. Even if you think, like, even if you're doing something that looks kind of okay, like this is reasonable, you're punching a ball, okay, but you're ending up in a position that's not favorable, okay. And I want to prioritize the macro more because we're just not doing it, and it's causing us a lot of problems. Does that make sense? Yeah, but like, okay, that's a specific like this map, this game, this composition thing. Okay, but like if you let yourself do this, you say, okay, this is fine. You tell yourself this is fine. We're never going to be able to implement the strategy that we've been talking about, all the fundamentals. Like we're not thinking about surrounding them. We're not thinking about taking the time to get a concave. We're 5v6 right now, and we're getting screwed because we're not thinking about doing these things, right? And like, well, we're just walking it out main. We're just walking it out main. Yeah, this guy's here. You just commit to punching this way. Like I don't, the ball slams. You can punch him, sure, and then I get and go this way, right? Andrew kind of fucked up because if he was here, he wouldn't have died. He just gets free shots off, right? Like because the ball is also getting value because we're clumping. And again, I wanted to talk bigger picture here, right? Like fundamentally, are we thinking about the game in the correct strategic mindset, right? Because if we're always looking at, okay, did I get this pick? Did I get this? Did I land this cooldown? Did I do the specific thing right in this specific instance? We're gonna miss the forest of the trees. Okay, I really. What do you mean we've already failed? I mean, you're 5v5 right now. This is still winnable. Like, yeah, it's a lot of errors. And again, I can talk about all the micro shit and it doesn't matter, right? Because what's really gonna save this is we like whether or not you got this pick. How are you trying to take this point? People here, aka Ponzo. People here, Doomfist, Monkey jumps here, right? We have a 3-pronged attack setting up. If the ball slams it, he's gonna slam into a concave, and we just fuck him up, right? If the ball slams it into this, we shoot this way. We have a Doomfist here, we can drop on him. But really, honestly, you probably want the Doomfist and the Monkey to drop on this guy and cut him off, and then the ball is just 1v4, right? And you're okay with this. Like we're not giving ourselves the opportunity to experience these potentially much more efficient plays with more map control because we're trying to go for these really greedy short-term direct line solutions. Okay, and I really want to just prioritize concaves above all else, setup above all else. Like even if it's like, oh, I could have shot that guy and I didn't, I could have punched that guy and I didn't. Right, those things don't matter because when we focus on these greedy little specific things, we're not able to connect concepts and practice theory and practice strategy across multiple maps. And that's how you end up with stuff like this. Right, and you gotta trust me on this because I think that's one of the things that's holding us back a lot. We're not able to implement because these things are universal, right? Strategy is universal, fundamentals are universal, angles are universal, concaves are universal. We're not getting those because we're just like, it's more satisfying to get the short term payoff of landing a cooldown, landing a shot, landing an ult, stuff like that, right? And you have to be willing to give that up. You have to be willing to give that instant gratification up to try to experiment with a longer game. It might feel like shit for a while. You might make more mistakes. You might be like, wow, we're losing maps because of this. That's fine. Okay, you have to take the leap of faith. So anyway, this formation is just ugly. We're this is no good, right? Somebody could be shooting at the sig for free right now, and he wouldn't, or this ball for free right now if he had somebody here. That being said, again, Tony, situation is messy. Just drop and do something. You have to feel more urgency to do something right now. But the bigger issue is not having the angles, right? Not having a guy here, especially not having a guy there. Man. I need to not get bogged down on the micro stuff, but at least for the first fight, we can talk about this a little bit. Peter, we need to be a lot more conservative with our health because we're standing in the open and just eating a butt ton of damage, and this is partially what gets Tony killed. Because I feel like you're just staring down your diva. Tony, you kind of make a mistake here, but... well, okay. If you really want to... shit, okay. Don't let me do this anymore after this fight. Because I want to talk big picture, okay? This is fine. He slams in. You have to think, I got to do something right now, which means you have to drop on that sig. Okay? You don't drop on the sig. This is still salvageable. Now you got to Genji, you drop your bubble and fight this guy. Alright? Or, like, stand here, like, cheat right, walk this towards this guy, fight this guy. You have a bubble. Okay? The problem is you don't use your bubble and you just get poked down. Like, you just get poked down by this guy. You don't use your bubble. So you give up high ground without using your bubble, and then you die for it. Because you just don't use your bubble. Right, there's just like a litany of errors there, where like you didn't use your bubble where it probably needed to go. You had a second option to get some value out of it, and you didn't use it there. And you basically just like you had multiple off ramps, right, to at least get something out of your bubble, and you just didn't take any of them. Right, and that's really all that needs to be said. The last two errors kind of don't matter if you don't make the first one, but I'm just trying to show you that even if you make an error, there's usually plays you can make to mitigate it, to save it, right? To save the situation, to salvage. And it's when you get these really ugly fights when we just don't take any of those opportunities. Peter, and you're feeding back too hard. But again, I want to focus on big picture stuff. That's that kind of individual decision making. It's unfortunate. It's not what's the most important for us as a team right now. Okay, so you know they have a ball at this point, okay? And I've talked about this ad nauseum already in many maps, and we're still not quite getting this. So somebody needs to call us out. If you know they have a ball, where is this ball going to set up? Is he going to like? Do you think he's going to like be here in front of you? Yes. Okay. Now, and like they're telegraphing this, right? Their sigma's pushed all the way up, which means they're basically telling you that the ball's in hotel. So if you know this, and you're on offense, which means you're not obligated to walk into them, right? The defense chooses where to fight. This is their concave. Okay. The offense chooses when. Does that make sense? Like, that's kind of old Jane saying. Like, as in, if you were to all just sit here and not take the fight, oh well. You know, like they're showing you what the formation is. You don't have to walk into it and kill yourselves on it, right? You can be like, you know what? We have the time to send, say, your Doomfist and your Diva up here, or your Doomfist and your monkey up here, right? Send me 2 people, make this guy leave, and once he's blown a couple of his cooldowns, then you go in, right? And you don't go in, but like you do this, right? When I say go in, I mean you do this. You make your concave. Or it's multi-tier thinking, and I put that 1, 2, 3 in the D1 chat. First is pre-fight setup, right? How do you make your concave? Well, you want to make your concave doing this. Take this high ground, have this door control, right? Pinch in from left, right here. But also, how do you break the enemy concave? Because right now they're showing you that they want to do this, okay? Which means you have to wipe this guy off first, and you have the time to do it. You're not obligated to walk past them, and we're just gonna walk past them right now and be impatient. I don't think Diva can remove a ball necessarily by herself. I think it's probably going to have to be Diva and Doomfist. You don't want to send want to send people who are really slow at this. Sending your Hanzo is actually not too bad because if once your Hanzo's here, like this is still a valuable sightline. So like you can get 2 for 1 there, right? You can send this guy and maybe your Diva up, and you can have your other 4 guys ready to go here. You can jump your monkey on this side and control server even. Yes. Yeah. I mean, that's fine, right? These are all reasonable solutions, but we need to be doing this and thinking about this. Because what we're going to do is we're going to be like, you know what, the ball's there. It'll be fine. Walk right past them when we die. Right? And we have the time. Like, we're acting like we're rushed and we're not. Right? We have 3 minutes on the clock. Strategic thinking. Right? We know this ball's there, and we're just going to ignore him. And now this is just silly, because we're just asking to die at this point. This slam is honestly not good. Right? He slammed too early. He slammed before you committed. So this is a mistake on his part. We should be able to punish this. We're not going to punish it because we forgot to use cover. Man, we're taking a lot of damage. That's a micro thing. I don't want to get into it too much, but we need to not take too much damage. I think a lot of us, especially this guy, somewhat this guy, and actually a little bit of this guy too. Yeah, there's no reason for this, right? Especially as the other support, you cannot demand healing from your flex support as the main support. Like, there's really no reason to be anywhere near here. You can just literally sit here and do nothing. Right? You have to conserve your health more, because if you're demanding healing from your flex support Ben, this is going to cause these problems. Right? And like this is already a problem because Peter tends to take too much damage as Diva. Anyway, that's a bad slam. We should be punishing this. Okay, great. He's blown 2 cooldowns now. We don't care about him anymore. Okay? This is fine. You don't have to kill this guy. Right? He's blown his slam, his grapple, and he might have even used shield. Yeah, this guy has no cooldowns. He's done. Okay, he's effectively dead for about 10 seconds. So we need to understand this about ball too. You don't have to kill people to get what you need. Right? He inted his slam and he blew all his cooldown. He's basically dead. Nano on this guy. Right? Start going in. Start taking your positions. But instead we're inting this because we're too We're too focused on the guy who's basically dead, right? We don't care about him. We fed our Brig, who did not need to take any amount of damage in this pre-fight at all. And that's mainly it. And then yeah, I mean, because of those things, we're not able to take angles, right? So again, getting tunneled on the small scale stuff, killing this ball, not important, right? The first thing you have to ask is, how do we win this fight? And if you can answer that question very quickly in every situation in real time, then you're a 4,500 player or like a 4,500 level coach at least. Okay, it's not easy. So I'm not trying to say it's easy, but we need to be trying to answer these questions, because when this stuff happens, it looks like we're not trying to answer the question. It looks like we're just trying to shoot people. Because this guy's basically dead, right? He's 3 cooldowns down. Do we have a bubble? Yeah, okay, we have all our cooldowns. So honestly, this situation is pretty okay, except for the part where we fed Brig. Well, I mean, okay, except for the part where we fed our Brig and our Hanzo's grossly out of position, right? If our Hanzo was here right now, we're feeling really good about ourselves, right? Because we're gonna force attention here while we still have healing, while we still have Peter here, right? Like we need pressure here from Monkey and pressure on this door from Hanzo / Diva. We don't have angles. It's that simple. Our Monkey is in, and we don't have any support from the backside, right? Because when your Monkey pressure's in, they're going to want to walk. We talked about this before, right? They're going to want to walk this way. We have to have someone to catch that, right? They have to walk into more pressure. That's how you win fights. But we don't have that pressure because Andrew's out of position. And also Amon is too, honestly. What are you doing here? Like, you should be over here, right? You need to be over here. We're just feeding too much right now. Ball ins. Ben ins. Again, like, he's chasing a ball. The ball doesn't matter. This is just a straight up feed on a guy who has no use. And the ball is of no value. Okay, so we're all trying to chase the ball, and we're just like, completely out of position. Even if you were here, Amon, if you were here to catch this and you punch this way and kill the and hit the ball, he probably would die. Yeah, he would definitely die. Right? We're just not in position. We're not thinking.
Feeling power.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, left would be okay, but the problem again right now is you don't have time. Okay, you have a nano. Like, I'm not trying to strike you down here. Okay, I'm trying to really just get you to think outside the box here. You have a nano, right? Like in this situation, you have a nano. Your monkey's gonna go down main. Period. Right? Which means if you're gonna support the monkey going down main, you have to go this way because they're not gonna back this way, right? By the time it takes you. Yeah, you'll be fine. Just walk this way, right? Like you're in good position. Just walk this way and hide. Yeah, I don't know what the uppercut was for. Right, just walk here. This guy's dead if you punch him here. Like, this is free. You have an all-you-can-eat buffet here. You have 3 people who are not looking at you. Right, this is a buffet. Take your pick. Hit one of these guys, they die. Okay, and that's what I mean by strategic thinking. Because if you're thinking the short term of, I need to hit, I don't know, the Sigma while he's here, or I need to just run it down main and hit the ball or whatever, like, you're missing these opportunities where you have to think, like, if you're thinking always in terms of concaves, right, always in terms of pushing and pulling, where you know pressure's coming from one side, that means the enemy's going to predictably go this way, that they're going to back right into your punch or your uppercut or slam here, right? This is free. So yeah. So we have to prioritize these things. No, it's fine. It's fine. The Doom is fine here. The Doom is fine here. Okay, like anything is fine here. You're missing the point. Like, okay, what's the worst hero you can think to possibly play on this map right now? Okay, fine. If you're a Junkrat, how would you maximize value on Junkrat? You would still stand here and probably like bomb the crap out of it, or like just throw a trap here. It's gonna back into it and die, right? Like what? There's nothing wrong with there's nothing wrong with there's nothing wrong with having Doom here punching this way. Like the point that I'm trying to make is it doesn't matter whether the hero is objectively good in the situation, right? It's how can you leverage the fundamentals and the strategy to get the most out of that hero. All right, like we're why would you be Discord if you're just standing here? You just stand here like how'd you get Discorded then? Like right now this is fine, okay? Because your monkey's not in yet, okay? But like at this point, start walking. You know what I mean? Because your monkey's going in. Like yeah, I think Ian's already said what I meant to say. Because we showed early and got poked at Discord, which caused us to leave, and then the monkey goes in and we're not in yet, and now it's too late. Right? They're too far out. Yeah, and that's what that yeah, and that's like a micro thing. No, that's fine, and that's a micro thing, right? You have to understand what the intent is, and then find a way to make it work. If you have no intent, you have no direction. Like right now, sure, but you need to have a fixed idea of what macro is, right? And the fixed idea of what macro is if the monkey goes in here, your objective is to go here, right? It's to punch into the retreat. Okay, then we've identified the problem. Then we need to, yeah we need to figure out we need to fix that. Okay then, but but it's like we need to play cover better to enable the macro to work, right? I want to make that distinction. Because now we just burnt burnt nano for no reason. Well, not no reason, but for no value because we don't have any angles. Yeah, we're just waiting for Spidey. That's fine. This guy ints. So again, that slam is horrible. So we try to go on it. This is fine. Nice sleep. Okay. So this is the second time I've seen Ben just walk into a fair and die. So whenever he's around, please remind him. Just because Brig no longer has 600 shield, right? He needs to not go this way, or he needs to not walk in the open past the fair. Because I think he can reasonably. That's unfortunate. Like, you should know the fair is there. That's just messy. All right, Ian. No. I was losing my goddamn mind watching this fight. No, it's terrible. Okay, no, it's garbage. It's absolute garbage. I'm gonna give you 3 reasons. First of all, your Brig is dead. Where is your help coming from? Is it coming from here? So what's gonna let you live longer? Okay, there's a couple. There's like no. Yeah. Okay. So but you would rather be in dash range here than here by a country mile. Okay. First of all, if you're here, how many positions can just blow you off of this corner? Because you can only stand here or here. Okay. You can basically play that corner or the dumpster. So how many positions can just blow you off this corner? Let's count. Enemy. Uh, you need. Okay, I'm talking just in terms of you right now. Okay, just in terms of you and your personal, how easy you're making it on your team and yourself. Okay, just listen for a sec. Okay, if the enemy peeks here and you're at the corner, you're fucked. If the enemy peeks here and you're at the corner, you're fucked. If the enemy peeks even here and you're at that corner, you're fucked. No, dumpster's not good either. Okay, okay. Why would you not just play here? Because, because here, the if you're playing where you are, the only place you can stand is this dumpster, effectively. Okay, because if you play here, anybody picking out this door has a long sight line on you, you're screwed. So basically, the problem with playing here is because you're fixed to this position. You have exactly one place you can stand. Here, you can use this entire area. Okay, you're not predictable. You can peek from any direction. You can hide in any direction. You're not predictable. Okay, I need you to not be stubborn about this because like this is just objectively better. Okay, if you're going to be stubborn and hang on to these really inefficient ideas, you're causing people a lot of problems. Okay, it's a team effort, huh? No, no. Okay, well you're gonna die here, and you're gonna end. You're gonna. No, yes, it's absolutely because you're not on the high ground. You dying here through this entire fight. I'm gonna be that blunt with you, and you need to stop being so defensive about this. You don't get dove and killed there. If you get my dude, you're down two. Okay, where is your help coming from? Where is your diva coming from? You're driving me crazy, dude. Okay, if your brig walks to this point and you're here, can she pack you? Okay, if your brig walks to this point and you're here, can she pack you? Can she whip the Genji? This is not rocket science. No. Look, he's gonna dive you. Okay. Wow. I can't help you. Wow, your diva came from spawn. If you only you were within boost range. Wow. Maybe Tony can help you, but I think what he's thinking is if I give up this choke and dive back this way, they're just gonna flood the point, right? He doesn't want to do that because in order for anybody to help you, they have to give up the concave, right? What's the fundamental here? We want the concave. We want to control this. We want to control this. We want to have somebody maybe even watching this story. We want this 3-point control. And if you play in a position, if you play in a spot that forces your team to completely give up the concave to save your ass, right? Then even if you live, you've thrown this fight. You're fine. You're fine. Let's see. Nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. Walk. Go. You're fine. Nobody's in danger of dying. Walk. You're fine. Walk. Go. Go. My fucking god. Okay? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, dude. I've already watched this VOD ahead of time already. Any more questions? No, it's important. Like I need you to understand this because like I'm trying to show you something. I mean, no, I gave Ben criticism. He's not here. I gave Andrew criticism. He's not here. Right? I criticized Tony. He's here. Okay. I mean, I criticized them on a lot already. The problem is when I point this stuff out to you and you insist that playing the dumpster is the best thing to do, and it's hard for me. It's hard for me to. It's hard for me. What? I was gonna explain that. I had that all written down, dude. Yeah, I was about to explain literally all that. Right? Because your help is coming from this direction, so you're going to make it easier for your team to help you. You're not going to force your team to literally give up your entire concave to help you when you do that, right? And I started with where's your help coming from, right? And that's like strongly implying this. I'm pretty sure that's what I started with. We can watch the VOD later. You're killing me. Anyway, this is all foobar, because, yeah.
I'm feeling unstoppable.
Oh man, I had a lot more to talk about, but I don't know if we have the time tonight. Let's just at least get past first point. Nice pick. This slam is terrible. Just make him leave. That nano's too early. You want to tell me why? Yeah, we're not set up. I mean, yeah, it's like a quarter.
I'm feeling unstoppable.
Yeah, that's some micro. Yeah, so we're chasing geese here. This guy's as soon as the ball. I'm being a broken record now, but as soon as the ball blows those cooldowns, he's a dead man for 10 seconds, right? Stop blowing resources at him. Just go. Because you could take a 4v6 right now and win, but we're doing this kind of stupid stuff. Yeah, okay, I mean, sure, because he was at a quarter health. That was a reasonable nano. I wish that didn't have to happen, but that's a micro thing that we can address, right? The bigger picture problem right now is that we could be winning a 4v6 right now. We're not, because we're chasing a ball diva.
60 seconds remaining.
I'd rather you stay. If anything, just because again, I want to prioritize the macro, right? Just really getting the macro clean. I mean, you wouldn't, but Andrew would, and that's what he's doing right now. Like if Andrew was here right now, right, and you saw this, you'd be like as soon as she boosts away, you're like, whatever, right? She is gone. Yeah, but like, I mean, again, this guy's here with no booster, right? He's also another. He's like at least 8 seconds and about 300 health away from being relevant to the fight. Right, but you you going after this guy, you're trading 1 for 1 for him, right? Like this guy, what's important? No, I think that's too short term thing. It's not like the big picture is you need to win this point. Okay, so I would much rather you once you see this guy. Yeah, it's not worth the time though. She's so far away. Like she's functionally dead right now. This guy's functionally dead right now. So what I want you to guys to do is surround the point and take it, right? Because then what you're gonna ask a half health diva from long range to come back and recontest. That's really hard. It's just go, yeah. It's not, the Pharaoh is not even relevant. Even if the Pharaoh was alive, right? We're playing deathmatch right now. We're going after two 600 health tanks that have blown all their cooldowns. They, It's just, it's like what is it costing you? Okay, what is it costing you? Because what it's 10 seconds and this much distance. That's a long way. So if you're gonna do this, you have to all do this. Okay, the other issue with this is that this guy's in. What you never have is people chasing this and then have also people going at the same time. So if you had to pick one or the other, I would go in because it's much more important to take a 4v6 on point and win than to take a 4v2 off a point and win. That kind of makes sense. The issue here is that you're being pulled in two different directions. But yeah, if all of you are here right now, these supports are dead. Pedal's dead. You win the point. You don't care about these tanks because it's taking these guys forever to get back in the fight.
60 seconds remaining.
Tony, that's just a feed. Like this window's not good. Right, just show. Yeah. Yeah, I'd say so too because we could have killed these guys by now.
Meteor strike.
We don't have the point control. Chasing kills instead of chasing positioning. Okay, somehow we win this point because this is a disgusting mess. I don't think any of this is super important. I'm gonna at least go. I'm gonna talk about the first fight on this point and probably call it a night because this has already gone on for a lot longer than I wanted to. Okay. Since you're all here, okay, with what we're running, somebody else tell me how we want to set this fight up because this looks not good. Here? Uh, yeah. Um, I don't know about the ball, if the ball can afford to be here because he's going to get poked out. I think definitely behind. If, I think having your ball here is fine. Or even here. Here is fine. We can try this out, but I think if he's here, you could definitely grapple right here. You could definitely hit this grapple because okay, what I'm trying to get at is because of what we have, we're probably looking at like a dragon going this way with the nano monkey, right? And if you remember the setup we had before, right? We're trying to think in terms of concaves and pincers, where we send our monkey this way, and we want to have someone to catch their retreat, right? To put even more pressure on them as they're retreating. By that logic, if you're gonna send a nano monkey with a dragon going this way, where are they gonna go? Right. Yeah, they're either here or here. Okay, and if your ball is right here, he can hit either of those positions pretty easily. I mean, sure, it's just okay. If you're here, you're gonna get poked, dude. There's no way. This I think your hitbox is too big. We can test this. I'm kind of sus. If you can do it, If you but that costs time. It's not free. You know, you want to go in, pop your shields, and slam. It's not worth. It's not the space you're getting for that is not worth not being able to slam it in a shield. Right? It's not. It's you're trading. Like you're basically saying, okay, I'm gonna get shot and roll off while the monkey goes in. That's gonna. How does that fix your problem though? Because again, you're trying to nano monkey dragon this way while you crush this way, right? So if you roll off, you're not able to do your pincer because you're rolling off as your team's going in. If you sure if you can get away with it, I think your hitbox is too big. And the whole point of doing this is that like if you're here, you're just looking for a reason to slam or the time to slam, right? Because like you're thinking ahead. You know they're going to be here or here. Where can you hit both of those positions? That's mostly that'll be fine, dude. Because you're gonna have a nano monkey here, and they're probably gonna be like half health or less because of the dragon, right? These things don't happen in isolation. Okay, I mean we can try this out in the scrim and see how it works out. But like the whole again the important thing is the exact like do you start here or do you start here? Okay, whatever. Okay, like the whole point here that I'm trying to make is you need to set this up to where you have a pincer and a concave. Okay, we're going in with nano monkey. Like we're getting really bogged down in the little details, which is what I didn't want to do because I really want to just make this like a super clean. What's the macro? Right. What is our objective that we should be setting up? What are we not doing, or like what are we doing instead? That's just like not good. Okay, and how do we correct the way we're looking at this to better achieve that? And by just really digging into do we play saloon or do we play high ground? Like that's not important, right? It's do something that's going to let you that's going to let you catch the pincer, right? Which means ball needs to be somewhere here, right, in this general area. And same goes for somber, right? Somber needs to be somewhere in this general area, preferably high ground, so that when your dragon and your nano monkey go in, she can uncloak, hack, slam, roll, ball, slam, roll, whatever, right? So that we're crushing them from two directions. That's the important thing that needs to happen. How we actually execute that, we can figure that out and trial and error and workshop that in scrims all day long. Okay, but if we don't have this dude and this dude in some reasonable position to make that happen, none of that shit matters, right? We're not even trying to achieve anything resembling a successful objective, a successful game plan as we start this fight. And that's the thinking turnaround we need to get to because we're so bogged down in the execution, the micro, like the do we play here, do we play here, and like did I shoot the right person, and like the little micro mistakes like that shit doesn't matter. But we're also doing stuff like this, right? And what I'm telling you is change your priorities. There's always going to be No, you're not gonna solve this by digging into the micro. I disagree because it's not happening. Yeah, I mean, okay, sure. Like we could always practice more. We could always do better. Right? Yeah, okay. Like these are all true. Okay, what I'm not trying to dispute that. Yes, like yes, there's micro issues. Right? Yes, we could always be better at mechanics. I'm just trying to tell you what I think is going to be the most efficient direction to fix these problems. Yeah, but if I mean, yes, that's true. Okay, but at the same time, it's like if we're gonna lose a fight, I want to see us lose a fight. I want to see people die here. Okay, I want to see people die in this formation. One, two, three. Okay, like if we fuck up the bubble and Tony just dies here, that's fine. Okay, if Andrew peaks here and he mistimes his peak and he just gets domed, that's fine, right? If like if Amon tries to go this way and he just fucks something up and dies, like that's fine. You see what I'm trying to say? Like I like there's gonna be micro issues and we're not gonna fix it overnight. But if you're gonna die and lose a fight, I want to at least like see the structure of the fight unfolding in a way that looks correct. I think our definitions are a little bit. I think the problem is we just have different definitions, and I think we're talking about the same thing. Because I would consider that a more macro issue. That's a decision-making problem. That's not an aim problem. That's a I'm going to chase a ball with no cooldowns rather than set up my concave. Okay, then we're talking about the same thing in different language. Because what I'm trying to tell people to do is, if you have to sacrifice short-term gain, if you have to sacrifice short-term gratification, a couple shots on a ball or whatever, right, in favor of I'm going to go here and set up my concave, and we're die trying, right? I'm going to get my ass behind them as a Sombra, so I can set up and not show early, right? I'm going to sit my ass here and wait for my monkey to go in with Nano, even if I get the juiciest opportunity to hack somebody, I'm just gonna sit here and wait for my monkey to go with Nano, with the dragon, and then I'm gonna go do something, right? Or die trying, right? But like never this. You see what I'm trying to get at? Like just like we have to have an objective, and we're just constantly shooting at that target. And if we miss the target and we hit this, we hit this, we hit this, right? Eventually we have to at least get closer to center. But we need to fix what that objective is, and the objective is to set up your concaves and your pincers. Right? I call that macro. You guys are calling that individual micro. Fine. We're talking about the same thing in different language. Right? And those are individual decisions. Like maybe you think that macro means like a team wide thing. Well, these are things you could do in ranked. Right? If you don't know if you're Amon, you're here and you don't know who these five people are, you can still try to set up behind them. Right? If you're Peter and you don't know who these five people are, you shouldn't be here. Right? You should be looking for the opportunity to pinch on them when your team goes in the front and does something. Okay, these are still individual decisions we could be refining. Does that make sense? Is that a satisfactory answer? Because I think we are talking about the same thing, but we're just not using the same language or terminology. How about just call it individual macro? Okay, it's your it's like your individual responsibility in the broader context, but only what you can control. And frankly, that's true whether it's in scrims or in ranked, because you're never going to be able to tell 5 other people, even if it's your team in a scrim environment, what they're supposed to be doing. Right? All of you individually need to understand what your responsibilities are and make it happen, whether it's ranked or scrims. And that's what's going to make the team come together. Whether you just all kind of fundamentally understand the correct ideas and you just do them. Make sense? So anyway, this is a perfectly reasonable play because they're all just clumped up. But hey, we don't have anybody behind to catch this. Yeah, I know. Because like, come on, you're totally out of the fight. This is 5v6. We get 2 picks, but it's rough. It doesn't matter. How long does it take to kill this ball? Right, like you're doing nothing right now. And again, huh? You put like 200, like 100 damage on the ball maybe. And again, eventually, you see how just inefficient this is? And okay, no. Your job is to pincer. All right, your job is to hit the pincer. Yeah, fuck, dude. I mean, I'm just trying to make adjustments based on what I think is gonna help people the fastest. And I'm trying to remember what I said to you in the past, but anything that I say, like what I'm trying to tell you now is like is to not get bogged down in the details, right? And like saying I'm gonna focus the ball, and I'm gonna stick on them like white on rice no matter what. Like that's like a very specific detail that we're getting bogged down on, and I don't want I want to get. The problem is that this ball's not doing anything. This ball's not doing anything though, and he pokes you out, right? You get you. Okay, yeah. So so that is an error. It's about when. It's about when. Okay. Yeah, but you're doing that when your team's not doing anything. That's the problem. This is still bad. Well, let's see. You're not showing it. Okay. Let's see. For you. That's one of those things where it's a reasonable play in context, but yeah. What I'm again, yeah, I agree with Ian because what I've been trying to say this whole time is whether or not this individual play was good, you being here is no bueno, right? Like you got a good play out of that once. In general, what are we trying to achieve? We're trying to achieve a pincer with a nano monkey and a dragon, which means we need people back here. Okay, and if the ball for some reason goes in on the cart and you drop and go hack them, I'm perfectly fine with that because that means you made that play from a pincer position and you had the option to go on the ball or on whoever the hell was here. You picked the ball. I'm fine with that. Right. The problem is that you were not here because like it's like the ball being like in your own spawn. Right. The ball being here, he's not doing anything. You don't care. Like you don't care about what the ball is doing until he's actually in your team. You know, or trying to get into your team. We lose this fight.
I cannot be stopped.
Well, one of the problems, I mean, there's a whole bunch of different problems here, but again, simplify. We can't fix everything at once. What's the big picture, right? Simplify, simplify. We got to simplify it and boil it down to actionable things. The actionable thing is we need to have pincers because when we don't have a pincer, we have to burn monkey bubble, jump, slam, slam, and hook just to kill a soldier. Whereas if we had the pincer set up, right, we can kill a soldier way cheaper and maybe also take this guy out for a lot cheaper. Right? Because like yes, we killed a soldier, but it's extremely expensive because we didn't have the pincer set up, and also we missed an animal. But like that's not super important, right? Like, if you're here, Amon, this guy just instantly dies, and you don't have to have like blow so many cooldowns on him. And you have more cooldowns to maybe deal with this or whatever deal with this. Or all these other things like we missed an nano, like Ben kind of fed, like it's kind of whatever, right? We every single tank cooldown on one soldier. I mean, what if you were there just to shoot him a little bit? Because putting 100 damage on a ball right now, like in these 3 seconds that just passed, right? Like the ball eventually dies, but it's like, it's man, we're getting too stuck on these little details. Okay, I remember what I was telling you before. I told you to when I told you to mark the ball, it was because sometimes when you were getting too far behind the enemy, what was happening was you were like going 1v1 or 1v2 or 3 on their backline, and then the ball was going on your team. Right? It's like the problem was the people you were hacking, you weren't getting any support for. Like you were hacking somebody basically just for yourself, and you couldn't get any follow up because you're getting 1v2 or 1v3 because there's a diva right there. So what I was trying to tell you was hack where you're going to get follow up. Right? If that means you're going to wait for the ball to slam into your team and you hack and you like when you like basically 1v5 him, that's great. Okay, and I think that's that. But instead of thinking about the big picture of like hack up, like put your cooldowns where this fall up. That's the fundamental big picture thing. True of any hero, anywhere, anytime. Right? Just put your cooldowns where this fall up. We kind of just get focused on that minute detail of hack the ball, and that's how we're getting this. Where we're gonna hack the ball no matter what. Well, you're not gonna get any follow up on the ball here because yes, it's the ball, but he's in a position. He dies because he eventually rolls into your team. Right? He didn't die because you're necessarily doing anything here. So what's it? I don't know, dude. No, dude. Like I gotta call it a night soon. I just wanted to play this fight. Like I'm trying to figure out what to say because I feel like I'm trying to get a thought process across and it's not sticking. Like what if I just asked you guys to trust me on this one? right? And just play for the setup. Play for the setup. Like, yes, this got you value this one time. Okay, I'm trying to tell you guys just to trust me on this one. Prioritize the setups. Prioritize the pincer, to the exclusion of all else. If you miss out on killing this ball, I don't care. So here's the thing. You need to take this fight like, about right now. And you can't, because you're out of position. Right, so we take this fight late. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're taking this fight 5 seconds late and out of position. So you're just asking for problems at that point. But again, bigger pictures, right? Like what happened, all those little details that of what happened in this fight, they don't even need to be relevant if we think, okay, what is the preemptive overarching strategy we can be thinking that would just completely supplant everything that has happened at this point. Like right now, if we're thinking we have two people set up and we're gonna take this fight, like we're looking to take this fight like basically in the next 3 seconds, which we should be, and we're posturing and positioning like we want to take this fight before they get too set up, and we lose. I'm okay with that. Okay, we make a mechanical error. I'm okay with that. The problem is we're not looking like we want to take this fight with any urgency right now. We're not looking like we want a pincer. The second best option is you nano your monkey and you hit a purple and you kill them all, and you miss your nano and you didn't throw your nade. Because at that point it's like how do you win just like a straight up fist fight? You gotta hit some cooldowns and try to get lucky and out mechanic them. Okay, but the only reason that happens is because you let them walk from here to here and drop on you before you take the fight, and you have to plan this with more urgency. Right? This is not a formation that looks like we're trying to take a fight, because these people are out of position, and this guy. I mean, where you are in is probably fine. You're probably. I think you're a little far back. If you're too far back to hit a nade for sure. you're probably. I think you probably want to be more like in this door or this door, one of these two doors. But I mean, on your team, I mean, like the travel time of the travel time of this nade is gonna be too long, right? Like you need to be posturing like you want to take a fight. Like basically, as soon as they cross the bridge and they get here, we're taking the fight, right? And we're not looking like we're posturing to set this fight up. And like that's the problem, right? I know, like instead of overcomplicating or overblowing these problems into these giant essays and these multi-step solutions where like 5 different people are fucking things up. Just we gotta simplify, right? There's no way to fix that. We gotta simplify and just what's the biggest, most overarching and most preemptive problem, because because setup right happens first. If you don't get your setup right, it's gonna cause all sorts of problems down the line. Okay, and rather than fixing all the stuff that's down the line and all the individual micro stuff, I want to fix the setup first. We need to really prioritize this, and I've tried to hint at this at various points over this course of the season. And right now, like I think I finally figured out a way just to be a little bit more specific and direct about it. Right, it's just set up to the exclusion of like literally everything. If you set up correctly and you just unbind mouse 1 and everybody dies, I'll be okay with that. I'm not gonna. I'm like that's how much I want this to happen. Right, if by the time they get shit. You need to take this fight right now. The Zen is crossed, right? By the time you get here, your monkey is not here, but like probably here, right? A little bit further forward. Your ball is somewhere here. Your somber is somewhere here, and you're looking for this pincer action right now. Life is good, right? And then you just all die for some reason. But I need to see some evidence that this intent is happening. because there's no intent here right now. This is just I'm gonna wait around and see what happens. There's no intent on taking this fight, and because there's no intent and there's no urgency, they take the fight to you and you lose. And how to fix all the random micro messy sloppy fistfight issues that come after this? They don't really matter to me. They shouldn't matter to you either because all those things could be avoided with a better setup. Right? It's like the time paradox issue. Like if you just change something further ahead in the timeline, it affects everything downstream, right? So all those things you kind of don't need to think about. You got to fix the first point of error first, and it simplifies the problem for you, right? It turns 20 problems from 5 different people into one problem for each of y'all, right? Like, all you have to think about if you're the Sombra is how to get your ass somewhere over here. All you have to think about if you're the ball is how to get your ass somewhere over here. Fuck, dude. I'm gonna lose a lung from all this shit. Very last fight, so somewhere over here. Okay, well I'm gonna play to a point where I think you should be set up, and then we can have a talk. Okay, so the Rhinus has shown, which means you should be set up at this point. Okay, how do we like this setup? Yeah, so there's so let's talk thought process. Okay, first of all, pre-fight, how are you gonna set up, and then going through mid-fight, how are you planning to close this fight out? You should be thinking about these things before the fight even happens. And like, what else do you have to use, and how are you gonna set up to use them? Don't tell me what happens. Tell me what should happen, and then we can watch what happens. Or like what you want to happen. Like how we're practicing thought process here. Okay. Yeah. So this guy probably fine. Yeah. If anything, yeah, this cover's fine. This guy probably fine. Yeah. Yeah. These guys need a GTFO because they can poke from this bridge and then back off, and then he has a pocket, so he's fine. So yes, I agree. Hanzo Mercy top left. So that leaves the tanks. Where do we want the tanks to be? So contesting cart right now is actually not super important. You actually want this cart to move a little bit because you want them to walk into your concave, right? You're not going to do anything just. So if we're thinking about setup, okay, so we have 2 point concave. This is not really a 3 point concave because you're a support player shooting from the front. So how can we get maybe one more angle here? Tony. You tell me. Get a little creative here with me, okay? You don't you like you can either face tank Orion from the front, uh, as a monkey, but you know there's a couple other ways to skin this cat. Let's get a little creative here. Think in terms of setup and angles for pre-fight, and then mid-fight. How are you going to close out with ults? Okay, what is the best possible thing, or something better you could do for your team to open up more angles, to make more distractions? One, two. Tony? All right. What if I told you you could just stand here? Right, you can just stand here. You can let them walk. Right, because again, you don't want to fight in this choke. Okay, that's why I'm saying contesting card. It's kind of like monkey ass here. Because if the Ryan's just standing here with a shield, you're not going to do anything, right? You don't want to burn too many cooldowns. Like if the Ryan walks forward and you bubble this, you've just thrown. So if I play this fight and I see this, I'm going to rip my hair out because that's a throw. Okay, what you want these guys to do is you actually want these guys to walk forward, have the cart probably touch right here, or not even there, maybe like the front of the cart touch maybe a quarter of the way in. Okay, then you're gonna drop on their backline, bubble, right? Take a bit of damage. You're gonna feed your on a nano, and then you're gonna get nanoed while you're in their backline and can kill them all while Andrew dragons. Right, like it's really obvious when I talk about this now, right? Because the thing is, you have a 2-point concave here. You have your diva somewhere here. I mean, where your diva is kind of doesn't really matter right now because you're probably looking for, like, your diva pretty much needs the contest card. But actually no, your diva doesn't need a contest card because you're going to contest card. You're going to drop one card from behind, right? So like your diva probably just wants to be somewhere here, because she needs to not let this door get taken, right? Like if they try to shove a sig or something here, your diva needs to be here to help your reaper out. So your diva needs to be somewhere in this general area. I don't really care exactly where, as long as it's not in the choke. If you're standing a cart and you're feeding back, it's bad. So 1 point, 2 point. That's fine. Because what you can do is you can drop you can drop you can bubble, you can do whatever. As soon as his bubble expires, he just leaves this way. Who's gonna chase him? They don't have a diva. And if you make their May wall just for a monkey, I'm okay with this, right? Like you traded May wall for a monkey jump because you just drop and then leave. So like monkey takes some creativity with the map pathing to get the most value out of it. Because if you're just gonna stand here and face tank, you might as well play Ryan. Does that make sense, Ian? Right, like here, it doesn't really matter from which direction, but I would probably do it from here, only because your Hans is going to be here, right? And if you can take any opportunity to split attention a little bit, like you don't want to have 3 guys stacked here because if they're poking your Hanzo, you're going to get shot. Right? So they're going to be looking for that door, they're not going to be looking at this door. Right? It's like literally you're playing mind games. They're going to be looking for that Hanzo on their right. They're not going to be looking this way. So when you drop this way, you're probably going to be uncontested. You're going to just drop here, bubble, zappy, zappy, zappy. If they don't wall you, or if they wall you and like just jump out, okay. And by this time you should have nano. So like on your next jump, you just drop down and get nanoed, and you just kill it. And you just kill everybody. Life is good. But like, what's more important than all that micro stuff we just talked about is the fact that you are turning a 2-point concave into a 3-point concave, effectively a 4-point, because you have a Onyx here threatening nades if they turn around for you. Right, but what like you see how like this turns into a circle of death, right? You're encircling this area, but it only works if the fight happens like somewhere here, right? Like the fight needs to be happening somewhere past this choke for your team to do stuff about it. You don't want to force the fight while the Ryan is blocking this. So we just went through the steps, right? Pre-fight setup, we want a concave, 1, 2, 3, 4 for you, dropping this way. Mid-fight, Our objective is to let the cart roll so that it goes into our kill box, and then we can actually get use out of our kill box. And then our strategy for closing the fight, now to the monkey in their backline and probably dragon through, and they should all just die. Yep. Does that make sense? And not just what you're supposed to do, but the thought process of how you set this up, right? Concaves, pincers, setup, mid-fight, what you're going to use, close it out.
Nerf this. 10 seconds remaining.
Okay. So this is a massive int. For all the reasons we just talked about, they're not anywhere in your kill box. They're not in your kill box yet, right? This is just a throw. Computer. If you bubble in front of the Ryan, then it's a throw. It's okay to poke them, but we need to not burn too many resources doing this, right? Like this is probably as much damage as you can afford to take. If you nade Peter now, you have a huge problem because we cannot afford to trade cooldowns when they're not committed in the kill box, right? That's like a kill box 101 thing we talked about in fall semester. You need your cooldowns to be committed in the kill box when and where they're going to matter. But if you commit them outside the kill box, then you're trading cooldowns for nothing. Okay, so now we have a problem because Peter fed too hard. Oh yeah, so now we commit the nade on him. This is a problem. And again, we don't need to be doing. We don't really need to do this stuff right now because they're not even in fact through the choke yet. You've bubbled in down main, and you're nanoing a Rhine and a Brig.
Feeling powerful, and I'm not even angry.
This is still salvageable.
Bob, do something.
I don't know what that jump is for, dude. You're probably gonna throw at this point. You're half health, just chill. Chill and get healed. Right? Like you're jumping into a bob, you're just gonna die. Yeah. Still salvageable. Yeah, so none of this shit matters. Like, seriously, none of this shit matters. Because... Why? Somebody tell me. Well, specifically, what part of the Prefight planning did we not do / fuck up horribly? Yeah, right? It's like killboxing 101. We blew all our cooldowns while they were still past the choke. And then we just died slowly because we were like, they just sat there, absorbed the pressure because we can't follow up through this choke. And then we just killed ourselves. Right? And none of that stuff matters. Like, okay, the jump, yeah, whatever. You know, maybe there's a missed shot here, a missed cooldown there. None of that shit matters because if we had just properly set up a three-point concave with the monkey here threatening the drop, they walk through, we drop in their backline bubble, right? And we do that after they've committed to the kill box, which is past to this choke. The Rhine needs to get through this choke. Right? Sometimes you it's counterintuitive, yeah, but sometimes you have to give space to enable your kill box, right? You can't just stand here and shoot this Rhine in the front. It's never going to work, right? You don't have to make it easy for them, but it's like the difference between peeking here, taking 1 billion damage, and getting your nade force versus just playing footsie and making him kind of hesitate a little bit. But if he wants that space, don't fight him too hard for it. Let him have it. Yeah, he kind of fucked up because he walked past the Reaper. Right, the issue from us is we didn't have a concave, and Peter took again 400 damage, and it forced a bunch of cooldowns out of us. So again, I don't even want to talk about those things, right? Because it's just we have to reprogram how we analyze fights. None of that, anything that happens after the initial mistake, the initial setup problem, none of that matters because if you change the setup in an alternate universe, all those events don't happen. So fix the first thing in the chain, right? And everything else is irrelevant. Sure, but it was also a pretty mediocre setup. So as long as we understand that, like, yeah, fundamentally, play your kill box. Don't force ults and bombs and shit outside the kill box. But also just make the setup better. You know, like you don't need to talk about how to make that setup, how to optimize that setup better because you could have played a better setup. It's that simple. All right, we don't need to waste time talking about how to optimize something that's suboptimal to begin with. That makes sense. All right. I think I should call it a night. It's 1 a.m. Thanks for hanging out. Oh my god. Hopefully that was productive. I'm gonna upload this, and whoever is not here can watch this through at 2x speed. I think it was a really important session. I kind of wish more people were here, but the rest of you can trickle this down to other people, right? It's the most important thing is like think about like the timeline. Okay, just fix the first link in the chain. We need to not get bogged down. Sure, that's a. But also to stop chucking Eva bombs past the kill box because he does that a lot. Later, guys.